Well, hello and welcome. And I am Gloria Coppola. And thank you for coming to the first of a series of webinars I will be offering over time to help you attract more of what you love. So first, I want to thank you for taking the time in your busy schedules, because very often people say they can't do things because of two things. One, they don't have time, they're too busy, and two, they don't have money. So since this was free, you didn't have to think about the money, but I'm glad you didn't make the excuse about the time. So later on in the webinar, I'm going to tell you about how to get this free gift. So hang on and you'll learn more about that. But in the meantime, get a paper and pencil out, because we are going to get started. So I began this journey many, many years ago, and if you don't know me, I'm going to give you a little bit of background on me. I've been in the health and wellness field for over 30 years, and manifestation of different things, bringing things into my life, it's been one of the things that I've often been able to do easily, but sometimes, there's bumps in the roads and struggles and things that happen, and I sit there and go, what is going on? So do you relate to that? And along the way, I've done tons of coaching programs, a lot of personal development, read, gosh, gazillions of books out there, right? And we learn the little things here and there. But the one thing I can say that I'm always consistent with is beginning my day with a beautiful mindset, with gratitude. I made a vow to myself a very long time ago that I would always be grateful for whatever is happening in my life. That's right, anything. So along my journey of having a holistic center, a massage school, a health food store, and doing all these great things and traveling around the world, the sacred journeys, and helping at orphanages, writing books, and coaching people, it's been an amazing life journey. That's one side of it, right? That's what most people see. But on the other side of it, we have the real life that's also going on, right? And, there's tragedies and dramas and challenges and humility and all these things that go on in our lives. But when I begin my day with a beautiful mindset and I wake up and I think about, okay, I can start my day grumpy because I don't want to get up and do things, or I could take a second and realize that it's a privilege to be alive. And I want you to think about that every single day, okay? It's a privilege. Today I saw on Facebook my niece lost a friend at the age of 41 to a sudden death. And she told me this year, we're only on the third month, guys, right? She's lost 2 friends at 41. So we're never, ever guaranteed another moment. So the more that we realize that we have a privilege to be breathing here, to be sharing in this wonderful sacred space today, and to simply be alive and healthy, then we begin to realize we are truly, truly blessed. And the more we start acting that way, I can guarantee you the more blessings that are going to come your way. So some of the tragedies and things that have happened in my life, I've had to look at them in lots of different ways, and I had to find the blessing in those too. And there is a blessing, there is a silver lining, and whether it's, a loss, a death, depression, illness, whatever it is, there is always something that you can get out of that if you choose, because everything starts with choice, right? You made a choice, you made a decision first, right? You made a decision to come here tonight, and you made a choice to kind of hang out here and learn some more. So thank you. Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question. Do you love everything about your life? Everything. We might say, yeah, I love my life. Well, I'm going to take a little poll here, and it's going to show up on your screen. So if you can go and look at it, these are some of the top things that, people say they want to attract in their life. People want money. They want to live a better life. They want to be able to pay their bills. They want to use that money maybe to buy a home or a car. Other people want relationships. So check out the little poll probably on the bottom, and then click, there you go, what it is you're looking for in life. Some people just want peace of mind, others want happiness in life, and some want all of the above, and some are clicking other. Okay, great. So I'm going to show you this poll in a moment so that you can see what's important to people, okay? Okay, everybody got there, someone didn't put their vote in, so I'll wait a couple more seconds. So the reason I'm doing this is because pretty much everything on here we want, okay? We desire in our lives for different reasons. And the other one, I don't know what those are for you, but if you want to put in the chat, you can. So I'm going to put the poll up so that you can see what is most important for people. Happiness, right? So we could have all the money in the world, we could have great relationships, we could be traveling around, we could have peace of mind, you know, and we could be doing charity work, we can be, you know, finding our purpose in life and having a wonderful career or job. But the bottom line is 83% want happiness. And that's a beautiful thing, because that's why we're here tonight, to teach you how to bring more of that happiness into your life. So when I hear about, you know, what do I love? Some people think it's romantic relationship. Well, it's not. And that's only one type of love. If we have the capability of even imagining the capacity of the love that we have, can be, and share, and bring into us, I don't think we'd be sitting here right now. But I can tell you that I have experienced different types of love, and I'm sure you have too, right? There's been romantic love, and there's family love, and kid love, and grandchildren love, and friendship love, and love your job, and whatever it is, right? So you already know there's different types of love. So, oops, my slide is stuck here. Let's see. There we go. But here's the thing. You will see in the world what you carry in your heart. Think about that. You will see in the world what you carry in your heart. And so, you know, I look at, you know, what's going on Facebook, what goes on TV, on the news and stuff, and conversations with people, and how they react to different things. And I wonder sometimes, you know, why there's even so much hatred out there, you know, if there's so many of us that say we want more loving life and world, right? And kindness and compassion. So I started looking at myself over the years and the months, and more so recently, and realizing that the things that are still stuck in my heart, even though I think I have healed them, I have gone to counseling and coaching and done all these things, those emotions are still in there, charged on some level. They're still stored on some level in there. And so I realized that if I want to attract more love, then there's probably something that's going to happen in my life for that to happen, right? And so I've been saying an affirmation. I am an irresistible magnetic current that attracts more of what I love every single day. I have a journal. You've probably seen me on Facebook, put I love, and I kind of list about 10 things each day, even simple things, whether it's I love gelato, I love the beach, I love to travel, and I love my friends, you know. So each day I'm acknowledging and I'm sharing that, because when we write things down, things become more powerful. And some people say, oh, I don't want to write. I don't know how to write. I'm not a good writer. Don't judge yourself, okay? It's not about perfection. And that's why we're here today, because God said to me, Gloria, it's not about perfection. Okay, it's progress, not perfection. So I came on here tonight and decided I'd start sharing with you. So what happens when we're creating space? All right, well, your heart is going to continually break open in different ways. And I don't necessarily mean break down in a sadness place, but it breaks open. Think about different things that touch your heart. Okay, I remember going to Peru many years ago after my spouse had died tragically. It was about 3 years later, and I served, you know, at the orphanages. And I remember these children just so grateful for one pencil, one piece of paper, you know, and I thought, wow, and one piece of chocolate. So there was so much gratitude, you know, and so much love. And we didn't even speak the same language, but we would dance together and we would have a great time together. And they began to open my heart. They were breaking open my heart, you know. And then recently, you know, I was, you know, as you know, I'm doing this work out there. So everything I do and teach and share and coach, I experience. And from that experience, I can guide you. So I had a dream. God came to me in a dream, and I was visiting my daughter. And all of a sudden, I heard this voice, and there was a hand, and the hand had this laser beam of light that was coming down, and it hit my heart, and my heart just cracked open, and it was painful. It was very, very painful. And I had to have this courage to just stay with it and figure out, what is this about? And there was this oozing and oozing of pain. And guys, I have to tell you, I screamed at the top of my lungs that I thought I was actually doing it in real life. You ever have those kind of dreams? And then I realized that, all of this was just all the hurt and the pain and different things in life that I've experienced. And they took space up in my heart. And as I screamed, I heard God say, now you're ready to break open and receive love. It's pretty cool, isn't it? So are you ready? Are you really ready to have a life that you love? Well, when that happened, I began to look at what are the possibilities that can come into my life? How can I continually move forward, transform, and bring more of what I love? So I want you to think about right now and write it down. If you were to make a decision today to attract more of what you love, what would be three things? Three things, simple things, okay? I'm not talking about the big, big goal. I've been in so many coaching programs that talk about these big goals and these big dreams. And yeah, it's great to have those, but we have to start somewhere. We have to start right here, right now, in the present moment. And we have to put an energy behind that. And energy is action, right? So you know that if you want to achieve something, you have to put action in it. But I want you to think about three things. Maybe tomorrow you want to wake up healthier. There's one. Maybe you want to start eating better and shopping for groceries that are more healthy. So that's going to support the first one, right? Maybe you're looking to just attract a little more happiness, because that's what the poll said. Most of you want more happiness in your life. So now you write the three things down that are most important to you. And what are you going to do with them? You're going to acknowledge it in gratitude as if it already exists, okay? So I am so grateful that I am healthy and happy and attracting more of that and being mindful of the foods I eat, because the more I'm grateful for these things, then the more that I become aware of things. I see the signs, the coincidences, the symbols, all of that around me. Have you noticed in life that when you're on a path, a lot of coincidences keep showing up? And have you noticed that sometimes you might ignore them, but then all of a sudden on Facebook, a poster comes up and it says, oh my God, that's me today. What is somebody on Facebook reading my mind? And you start to chuckle because you realize it's coming in. And maybe you have books or Bibles, or, you're driving down the road and you see a board, one of those boards up there, and there's another sign. Or maybe music comes on and there's another sign. It's like, it could be the happy song, right? Since we want happiness, happy, right? That happy song. So these are the things that are constantly coming in our energetic field all the time. But are we paying attention? That's the key. Are we paying attention? And so the more attention we get with our intentions, what do you think happens? Well, yeah, you bring more to it, because everything works on a frequency. Now, you probably have heard of the law of attraction. And some people say, well, yeah, the law of attraction works sometimes, but it doesn't work all the time. Well, do you know why? Because the law of frequency is what we have to really focus on. So if we say we want happiness, or we want to travel, or we want more money in our lives, and then it doesn't happen, I want you to think about your thoughts. What have you been thinking about that? Are you thinking, oh, I don't know that I could be happy because things just always seem to go wrong, or that amount of money is just too far out of reach. It's nearly impossible. Okay, so see where I'm going with this? So that frequency of those thoughts in your head, those little voices that are talking to you, are actually managing the energy that is out there, that you're putting out there. And where is that coming from? Okay, it's coming from old belief system, it's coming from fear, and you have probably heard all of this already, right? It's probably not new to you. But what I hope is new to you is that by focusing your intentions on attracting what you love, all the simple things, you will see this will begin to build your whole new world that you want. So, I'm going to make a suggestion. Write a love letter to yourself. Have you ever done that? Let's start there. Let's get a piece of paper out and make a decision in the next 24 hours to write a love letter to yourself. And you're probably going, oh, a love letter to me? Why would I do that? Well, because you have to acknowledge all the greatness that you are, right? We weren't put here to play small. You've heard that too, I'm sure. So write a letter to yourself and talk about the things that you love. So let's take an example. Dear Sally, you know, Sally, we've been hanging around for 49 years, and I think you are the most magnificent, super cool, talented gal I have ever known in my life. When I wake up in the morning and I see you in the mirror, I just think, wow, you're beautiful. Look at those eyes and that smile. And man, girl, the older you get, you are strutting even better. And you know what, Sally? We're celebrating a birthday this year. And I just know it is going to bring you so much happiness because you keep pouring all this joy out to other people and helping them and inspiring them. That how in the world could you have anything but greatness and joy and happiness in your life? And you know, you've got so many amazing talents. Even though sometimes you may say to yourself, I'm not so good at art and I don't really write that well, but I gotta tell you, Sally, you're pretty damn amazing. You know, some people won't even do the things that you do, but you got courage. You got courage to look at things with new insights. You've got a beautiful heart that inspires people. You know, you're always there to help people. So you see where we're going with this, guys. Write yourself a love letter. And don't stop there. Stick it in the mail. Okay? So these are some of the tips, you know, that I'm giving you that I have actually done for myself. And it's pretty cool when you get that letter, especially if you get it on a day that you kind of need that little extra encouragement. And you begin to realize all the things you acknowledged about yourself. Because very often we can easily put ourselves down. But lifting ourselves up is also going to lift up your vibration, your frequency, and it's going to bring more of everything that you have talked about in that letter into your life. That's right. So be very clear. Write it to yourself, get it in the mail this week, and then, you know, get in touch with me and email me and let me know how that went for you, okay? So I want to talk about where we go from here, okay? Because, you know, I can give you simple tips, but I know for me that if I didn't have accountability in my life, I wouldn't be where I am, okay? And while I don't have everything that I want yet in attracting my life, I have the most important thing. I have the inner peace and the happiness. I have been humbled more than once, and that's okay. I have learned to downsize and eliminate things that just are heavy baggage on me. I have learned to live in greater integrity in life and not do the things that are not my purpose. You know, a few years back, I was at a yoga retreat and I went there to make friends, only to find out it was a silent yoga retreat. And you know something, there's something to be said about silence, because then we get rid of all the other mental chatter, don't we? And we could drop into a space where we could actually listen more clearly and astutely to what is really our truth. And one night, they had a sound healing session and a guided meditation. And she told us to find our symbol that is going to keep us focused on our path. And I did. I saw a symbol, an amazing symbol. And I went home. You're going to crack up like this. And I went home to paint it. And I decided I was going to paint it the way I wanted to paint it. And every time I'd step back, I'd hear a voice say, that's not what we asked of you. So did you ever get a feeling that you're not following your path? Did you ever hear maybe a voice? Okay, or some people, you know, are clairvoyant, you know, we have different gifts. And some people say, no, I'm not, but I have this gut feeling, I have an intuition. Well, listen to it because it's all guiding you. Absolutely it is. And so I'm painting this symbol because I wanted it to match my living room, okay? So see how you try to control your life sometimes only to find out that really your trust has to go into a higher level of faith and stop controlling everything if you want to attract what you love, right? And so I'd step back and I'd hear again, that's not what we asked of you. And so I kept changing it and I kept moving back, and this was going back and forth for a couple of nights. And I'd get inspired like 2 o'clock in the morning. That's kind of like when this whole energy seems to open up for me. And finally, I had this symbol, I had this painting, not the way I thought, but the way I was being guided. So do you listen to your guidance? Do you trust your guidance? Okay. Sometimes you may, and sometimes you go, oh God, I should have listened, right? And so now this painting hangs in my bedroom. So every morning I see it and every night I see it. And what it reminds me is to stay focused on my path. Do you know your path? Some people have told me in life when I do coaching, they're like, I don't know my path. I have no clue what it is. I know what I like to do. So I want you to think about the things that you like to do, the different patterns and coincidences that come into your life, and you say, that's showing up again. And just like, when I was in my prayer state a few days ago, and God's like, you got to do this, Gloria. Like, you keep putting it off, and you got all this knowledge and wisdom and all these things I've been teaching you for almost 62 years. And I'm happy to say that because I don't feel it, right? I feel great. And it's time to share. It's time to teach. And it's time to help people, especially in this time in our world, to spread more love. So this symbol is important. And I'm going to suggest that you find a symbol. Some people like to doodle and they make the same symbol over and over. Maybe you can put on a guided meditation with the intention that whatever comes to you, whatever you feel, that's going to be your symbol. And then you're probably saying, some of you out there, well, I don't know how to draw. Well, if you saw the symbol that I've made and some of the paintings that I've done previously, my symbol is very childlike drawing versus some things that I've done artsy. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to be an artist. They're not asking you to be an artist, okay? Just put it down on paper. And if you feel like coloring it, go ahead. It took me a few years to really acknowledge the potency of this symbol and what it's going to do for me on my path. But you need to have something, kind of like this leaf on the slide here, something that you can focus on, something that's going to help you grow, okay? And so what are the rules behind all this? Okay, there's no rules. Well, there's one, maybe. Make a decision, not an excuse. Okay, so tonight I acknowledge that you made a decision to be here and you didn't use the excuse, I'm busy. Okay, and that's usually the number one excuse, I'm busy, I have no time, when in fact we have time. We have time to make priorities in our life. We have time where perhaps we can turn off the TV or turn off a game we're playing to do the things that are actually going to help us attract the things in life that we want, that we love. But if we keep making those excuses and you're like, Gloria, but I've heard this before. Well, yeah, but maybe today is the day that you actually realize you've heard it so many times, those coincidences, because today's the day you need to make your decision. That's right, today. So that's what I'm going to tell you. Make a decision. Make a decision to do something with your life that is going to better your life. Make a decision to be more grateful every day. So you're planting seeds. Your whole life you have been planting seeds. Every thought you have is a seed that you have planted. And sometimes you're thinking, well, those seeds never really sprouted, and some sprouted, but they didn't bloom. So I want you to think about that. Imagine that you go and you buy, a little planter and soil and the seeds. And I'm going to use a scenario. You want a garden, right? Garden's going to be the metaphor for your life. You want a garden. But you say to yourself, well, I can't have that garden because I don't have the time to do it. And I don't have the money to buy all the supplies, right? And then 3 months down the road, you still don't have a garden, right? But imagine if you had no thoughts, no seeds in your head. What would happen? You'd be in the same place, right, in 3 months. But we know that's not true, right? Because every day you're thinking about things. So you're actually planting those seeds. So if you're thinking about going somewhere, maybe you want to go to Italy, like I'm going to Italy, right? Maybe you want to go to Ireland. Maybe you want a new job. Whatever it is you're thinking about, you are planting those seeds. Now, what do we do with those seeds? Well, we got that pot, we put the soil in, put the seeds in, and that's right, we got to water it, right? Because it's not going to grow. And so same thing with your thoughts. When you're thinking about different things and you're saying to yourself, I want to go to this conference that's coming up, but I don't know how I'm going to do it. Instead of saying, I don't have the money. All right, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I am willing to find a way to get there until I make this happen. Okay, so The words I am, I will, and until are very potent. So put them in your sentences. I am willing to dot, dot, dot until I make it happen. Okay? And so now that frequency is going out there, isn't it? And now the key is you got to pay attention to what's happening. Because when you have that seed in that dirt, you don't see what's going on beneath it, right? And so now you're coming back to me a week later and you say, Gloria, well, I planted that seed to do this or do that, and nothing is happening. Well, think about this plant. You don't see what's happening. You don't see what is going on in the world around you to bring it towards you. Maybe somebody is showing you the way. Maybe somebody is sending you a website or a video. Maybe that's why you're here tonight, okay? Maybe it's another sign. You've got to pay attention to the things that you cannot see with your eyes. And how do they come to you? What's being told to you? What song just gave you a message? Oh my gosh, and there it's again. And then I see it again. Just today alone, I began with a blog, and God just kept speaking through me. And so if you haven't read it, go on my website and read it. And then after that, even on Facebook, there have been so many similar messages over and over and over again, including letting go. Let it go. Let the fear go. Trust, 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 and have faith. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to trust that that seed is going to grow. You're going to put some water on it, and the water are your pure thoughts. You got to have pure thoughts, okay? And then all of a sudden one day, what happens? Something begins to sprout, doesn't it? It comes up, and you get a little excited. And so it's kind of like all of a sudden on your path in life, all of a sudden you have this realization that something you wanted is right here. And you're like, oh my God, I wanted to do this and it's right here. But then what happens? Do you wait for it to bloom? Do you start judging it and saying, what's it going to look like? What if I don't like it? Maybe it's not what I want, and then the sprout begins to die. So those thoughts that you put behind that sprout, that thing that you're bringing into your reality now, is so important. To be pure of heart and mind, to give gratitude for it already. So if something has shown up in your life, or somebody has shown up in your life, or a feeling has shown up in your life, and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel so happy today. Oh gosh, no, it's going to go away tomorrow. I know, because somebody's going to interfere with my life. No, hold on to that happiness. You know, there's distractions all the time. We have neighbors here that can distract us, and today she's been doing a good job out of it. But you know what? You got to find a way. You can't pull the gun out and shoot them, right? No, we got enough of that going on in this world. We got to find a way to say a prayer for these people, to say a prayer for the distractions, okay? Because you're going to blossom. Your life is going to blossom. Just starting with some of these simple steps, and not even all the things that I have to share with you in the future, okay? And the thing is, you got to celebrate that blossoming. So every time something good happens in your life, celebrate it. Give thanks for it, okay? So that's part of the rules here, okay? Really simple. So everything is an energy. It's a frequency. You got to have faith with all this. You got to trust the process, and you got to give gratitude. Okay. So, sorry, did I mess it up? Let me see, go back one more. So the thing is at the bottom here, okay, you can't receive what you want if you don't accept the gifts that are already here. Just like when I was sharing the story that how in the dream God opened my heart, okay, and I had to let things out. I had to let things go in order to receive, because there were so many gifts already coming into my life that I had to accept them, but you know, where was I going to put them? So allow yourself to receive all the wonderful things you have. And another affirmation that I love to say, thank you, God, for all the gifts I have and all the gifts I'm going to receive. And I have been saying that my entire life. Now, some people that know me may say, yeah, Gloria, but you've had this happen and that happen. Well, you know what? Things happen in life. Okay? That's not because, God necessarily makes those things happen. There are lessons. And, I was in a great situation for a couple of years, but something didn't feel right, and you got to trust that. And so when something doesn't feel right and you're saying, okay, but I thought this was a gift, for me in my life, and it was taking me in this direction, but then something doesn't feel right. You're going to have to open up. You're going to have to crack that open and let it go and receive the other gifts that are waiting right here, right here. But you can't see them if you're over here, right? And here's another thing. Do not ever try to fulfill a goal that somebody else has for you. Don't let anybody define you. We've been hearing things about ourselves probably from our childhood. You should be this and you should do that and go get a job and why don't you get married and why don't you do that, right? Don't let anybody define you. Only you get to define you. You get to live your purpose. And if you don't know your purpose, one of my gifts is to help people find their purpose. So that's pretty cool. So let's move on. So you have unlimited potential. And one of the things I love to do in life is help people reach their full potential. When I had my massage school years ago, that was part of what was said right in our little catalog, reach your full potential. So I want you to think about if you would use some of the tools I gave you tonight, some of the simple tools for 3 months, 12 weeks, 90 days, where would you be in your life? If you woke up and went to bed, right, with gratitude, and you made this decision, because everything starts with one decision, and you wrote that love letter to yourself, and you read it, and you took it in, and you're believing it, and you're paying more attention to those seeds that you're planting, those thoughts are your seeds, and you're pure of mind and heart, what do you think is going to happen for you in 3 months or 1 year or 5 years if you just keep moving forward? Now, some people want things fast. I want that faster. Well, everything's in divine timing, I can tell you that. Okay? And so we have to realize that if we're focused, find that symbol so you can focus. If we're focused on our path and our purpose, and we are paying attention to all the different things that come into our lives, I can assure you that in 3 months, you're going to be happier. But you've got to listen and you got to take those steps, right? And if you continue, wow, just imagine what would unfold in a year or 5 years. Yesterday I was at a presentation and I was listening to them talk, and it was for a travel company, and I'm not promoting here, I just want to tell you what happened. They were doing their spiel, they were talking about what they were excited about and stuff. But the top income earner there, who was in the Millionaire Club, was a young gal. And she was so pure of heart, and she was real. And she was sharing, her journey and her life and, different things that happened to her, and that she had never imagined ever that she'd be a millionaire. So you say to yourself, well, then how did that happen? Because isn't it in the thoughts? Here's how it happens. When you live your life in integrity, when you follow your purpose and your path, when your heart and your mind is pure thought, more things that make you happy come into your life, right? And so she needed money, all right? She was borrowing money from parents and stuff. And so by listening to her truth and following her purpose to serve, things were opening up to her and opening up to her. And this opportunity opened to her. So do you take opportunities? Okay. And 8 years now, and she's only in her 30s. This sweet young gal is a millionaire, and all she wanted was a happier life. So the majority of you asked for that. So imagine if you keep bringing in things that make you happy, what can happen in 5 years? Okay. So how are we doing so far? I hope we're doing good here. Thank you again. So the other thing God told me I had to do was release my book. Right? You were born to love. So some of the things that I shared with you tonight are going to be in here, but there's going to be a lot more. So I want to tell you a little bit about that. And Candy, who's a colleague of mine, has helped design this. And she helped design my other book, Both Ends of the Rainbow, years ago. And it's amazing working with her, because this is what I want to share with you too, how this all collaborates. Not too long ago, I didn't have a name of a book. All right? But I knew there was going to be a book. And then all of a sudden, there were those coincidences again. There were those signs, and they kept coming at me all over in one day. You were born to love. bingo. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. I'm helping people design this blueprint for their life, but in a place of love. So this is going to come out real soon, and I'm really excited about it because it's going to help give people a different type of program than, oh, well, go set your top 3 goals, okay, and make it bigger, this and that. We're going to work a little differently. We're going to work from the heart, and we're going to listen to our divine guidance, and everybody's journey is different. So I'm not here to tell you how to do that because I'm not here to define you. So this is a pre-launch, okay, and I want to invite you, if you're interested, if you like some of the things you heard tonight, okay, and things that you think you're going to implement and make the decision to do that, to join my program with a 50% savings. You were born to love. Now imagine spending 3 months, 12 weeks, or 90 days with somebody who is your accountability person. Because if you heard me earlier, I said the only way I got to where I am is having people in my life. You know, I think about the times in our lives when we tend to shy away, we go and hide, we go in our cave because things aren't going well, and we don't want the world to know, right? And so we don't reach out for help and support. Well, I have found out in my life, if it wasn't for one, my coaches, my mentors, and my friends, and one of them is out here tonight, and probably more than one, who took me in to her heart and her home to be able to do this, okay? You know, God said, this is what you have to do. So I had to close one door that was supporting me financially very well to open this amazing door with a woman that is so pure of heart and caring, that allowed me to be here tonight with you to open this up. And I would not have been able to write this had this space not been open to me, because I'd be too busy doing the other thing, right? So 12 weeks, and this is what it includes. 3 clarity coaching sessions, 1 hour each, okay? So we're going to start right away with one, all right? So because I need to get to know you and find out more about you and start helping you, you know, go in the direction that you want to go, right? So we're going to get 3 of them over time. And then we're going to get 4 live webinars, 4 of them. So what's going to happen, you just said about hiding away. You can relate, yeah. And we don't want to hide anymore, do we? We want to welcome the support and the help from those that can, in fact, help us, okay? So during these 12 weeks, we're going to have 4 live webinars, all right? And we're going to go through the process of what's in this new manual, in this book. And of course, we have to have a Facebook page, right? Everybody has a Facebook page, because that's going to be another place of support and to celebrate, you know, every time there's something that sprouts, to celebrate it. And here's the thing I learned. When we hide, we don't have the energy around us that supports us to grow, okay? Because we're in our dark room. And you think about that plant we talked about earlier, when it doesn't have the sunshine, when it doesn't have the water, what happens? It never grows, does it? But when you have people that really care about you and want to inspire you and get excited with you and celebrate with you, what do you think happens? That energy builds up, right? And you're like, oh, somebody commented on what I wrote. It feels so good, okay? So you're going to have that. So 3 personal one-on-one, not group, one-on-one coaching sessions, 4 live webinars. You're going to get my book. Okay, so as soon as it's published, okay, we're working on it, I'm going to get it. And if we don't have it in time for when we're actually starting the program, you're going to get the PDF and the email. So you're going to have it either way, but you're going to get the thing too. And then we're going to have our group support, okay? So how's that sound so far? Pretty good, huh? But you know what? There's an extra bonus. If you enroll by April 1st, I'm going to give you a 1-hour free soul purpose session, which is valued at $125. And it's done through cards that God gave me, messages God gave me, okay? I didn't have it on my to-do list. It wasn't on my goal list. And if you've been on Facebook, you might have said, oh, I think I know what that is. I've seen those cards, okay? And, you know, here they are, okay? And so there's a whole deck of them, all right? And we're going to spend time to connect and meditate and pray together and find out what is right before you. There's one card, the first card, that is so important. When I picked mine 6 years ago, I got to tell you, I still use it in every situation in my life. What is right before you right now that needs the most attention and will continually need the attention in every situation in your life to get you through it? Okay, it's usually the one of the challenges and the patterns that keep showing up. And then there's a second card that shows you like where this is all taking you to, and another piece of that. And the third card is your soul purpose. It's not the job you have, okay? And of course, we're all here to love. We're born to love, right? And that is a huge purpose. But where and how are we going to do that? So you're going to get that extra guidance, okay? So because I'm feeling so blessed, and you know what, you're more blessed than you actually realize, this is what I'm going to do. There's a VIP kit, okay? And maybe earlier you saw me hold up this kit, okay? It's a VIP kit. So in this beautiful box, and I have a variety of different ones, so everyone's going to get a different one. You're going to get the book that I wrote, okay? You Were Born to Love. You're going to get some really cool coloring pencils. You're going to get those cards I showed you. That's right. You're going to get a whole deck of them for inspiration. And, you know, I like to give goodies away. So there's going to be some stickers that you can put in your manual that you're going to get, your book, all sorts of things. And who knows what else I'll throw in here, okay? And this is valued at $100, okay? But it's going to be absolutely free to the first 10 people who enroll today or within the next 24 hours, okay, with their payment in full. Yeah, free. Okay, so I love to give gifts, and you probably love to get gifts, right? So already things are coming into your life. So that's over $1,000 value, and your investment is only $500 for the program, for the book, for all the little extras I'm going to do, for the webinars, for the one-on-one coaching, and your soul purpose. But that's only till April 1st, and the price is going to go up to full price. So that's over $700 in the freebies and savings. I'm going to tell you something. I did a coaching program last year, $8,000. There were no freebies, okay? I'm in another coaching program that's costing me over $2,000. And she gives a few freebies here and there. And I'm in another one that's cost me several grand, and you're sitting here going, well, why are you doing all these? Well, I'm an eternal student. I love life. I love to learn so many different philosophies and theories and put them all together. And then I love to bring it into my heart and see what feels right. And what I have learned is that taking that approach, and I've done it my whole entire career, is the way to do, to make things right, to put it in right balance. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. Well, it says and. So if you want another opportunity, there's a live experiential coaching. I am taking a small group of women to get out of your rut, get rid of all the chatter, to Costa Rica very soon. And if you would like this opportunity for a whole week, we're going to implement this system. So we're going to amp this up. We're going to be in the frequency of nature where everything is connected. It's going to be feeding our body, our minds, and our soul. But we're going to be implementing these things. And so they're going to get to experience firsthand just the first week of this manual. Imagine doing that in a live group setting with like-minded people. And so I'm going to offer you today you can save $100 on the trip and get one extra night, because we all decided we're going to go an extra night earlier and stay in the town before we take the little shuttle, the plane shuttle, off to the Osa Peninsula. And all the details are on my website. So there's $200 more in savings. And I got to tell you something. The things that have helped me grow the most in my life are the experience I've had live with other people, community, sacred community, you know, individuals, women, men, however their groups were set up, that have supported me. And so when I went into hiding, or I got fear, or I broke down, or I was crying, or whatever it was, when there were people there to put a smile on my face and make me feel happier, wow, things shifted really quick. And so the Osa Peninsula was picked, and I went down there to check it out. It was picked because of its pristine, eco-friendly environment. It was picked not only because of the beauty, it was picked because of the connection with everything. These little guys here, they taught me a lesson. They would get up early in the morning, and I was in this open air thatch hut, because it's kind of like being out camping, but only you're in a little more luxury, right? And they were in the trees right outside, so I could see them in the morning. And I sit there really quiet. Now, if you were to move too fast and you were to make noise, think how you move around in your environment and bump into things and stuff, or you talk right away when you get up. You can't do that if you really want to see what's going on in life. You got to slow down, right? And so these new friends of mine taught me be present in the moment to the ultimate degree. There's a word in Hawaiian, I studied the Hawaiian culture, maka'ala, heightened awareness. And they taught me that. And as a result, I took these photos. I'm not a photographer. I took these photos. Are they not cool? Watching them gather their berries and eat their berries. And I gotta tell you something. I was wearing a smile, happy smile from here to here, noticing how everything in life was just so perfect. And I didn't have to do anything but play witness. So here we are. Puerto Jimenez. The people that live there aren't many, but they were telling me that even the ions all along that space are so pure because practically everybody there is eco-friendly. So they don't have all this technology and digital stuff interfering. They're solar powered. I mean, it's in its purity state. You know, and there's one of the rooms, and they're just so delightful. So we're going to take care of you. We're going to nurture you, and the experiences we're going to unfold from, you know, stretching our bodies with yoga to stretching our minds with the realities that I'm going to kind of push into a little bit are just going to life enhance you on so many levels. So if you have the opportunity to do this, I would say jump on board. You know, get there with us next month and take advantage of the extra savings. Oh, of course, I'm the gift giver, right? There's a free backpack too. And you notice it's even got Soulful Purpose Journey because we're going to work with soul purpose there. We are going to make sure you understand it and move in that direction. And this is valued at another $100 with the goodies I put in there. So I love this saying. I'm not a product of my circumstances. And I'm struggling over there to get out and blossom, right? But I am a product of my decisions. And that's Stephen Covey's quote. He wrote 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, a great book, okay? Think about it. I'm not a product of my circumstances. I'm a product of my decisions. And that was the one thing I asked you earlier today. Make a decision for yourself, whatever it is. So, you know, you just want to take those simple little tools I gave you. That's great. But make a choice in life. You could do the 12 weeks of coaching. Oh, you're trying to blossom. You're trying to come up and sprout. Well, there you go. 12 weeks of coaching with $700 of savings, 3 personal one-on-ones, 4 webinars, your Facebook group, and 12 weeks of monitoring this with you, okay? And combine that with the Costa Rica live experience. Oh my God. Talk about where are you going to be in 3 months? I'm going to tell you something. There's going to be some major shifts. So that's over $1,000 that I'm offering you in savings because you know what? I'm so blessed. And there's a song. Oh, any of you know Karen Drucker? I love her. She has a song, I Am So Blessed. And that's how I feel. And I have to pass those blessings on because I want to attract more of what I love. And I love blessings, okay? So contact me. Here's the third thing I want you to do. Just contact me if you decide you want to sprout or you want to blossom, okay? There's my phone number. There's my email. And there's my website. I want you to attract what you love. I'm doing what I love. I'm having a blast doing it. And if you have any questions right now, I'd be happy to answer them. So you can go in the chat over there and, you know, you can ask, you know, you can write something in the chat and I will see it. But I'm going to take this off in a moment. So if you copy that down and do me a favor, go on my website and read the blog I wrote today. You know, when God talks to you, listen, right? When God speaks to you, listen, because that may spark something in you too. So write that love letter. I want to know how that feels when you receive it too. So I'm having a blast, guys and gals. I really am. And I'm so grateful, forever grateful that you were here tonight on the very first of many of these to come, because I'm going to keep sharing things, okay? And remember, I'm sharing this box of goodies with you. For those of you that, the first 10 that sign up, okay, you're going to get that extra little bonus too. So let's take that off. And let's see each other here. Now you can see me better. So the next thing that I'm going to attract in my life is you. But guess what? I already did, didn't I? So I'm going to attract more of you, more like-minded people that are on a similar path to find their purpose, to serve with their heart, to be pure in their thoughts, the best that we can, and to support each other on that journey, because that is truly the way to have the happiest life and fulfill all the things that you want to attract. Because when you do that, you're going to see all of a sudden something's going to show up that may have been second or third on that poll today that you thought about. You're like, oh, wow, that came into my life. And so because I listened and I took a chance and I let go of the fear and I took a leap, we're here together tonight. And I truly hope that I get the blessing to serve you in a coaching program or see you in Costa Rica. Thank you, everybody. And may you attract more of what you love. Remember, I am an irresistible magnetic current, and I attract everything I love. Good night.